Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining for Sunday feast. I think Jai Radha Madhava for a couple of minutes and then we can start. Okay. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Bhaja Naranjana. Yashodanandana Bhaja Naranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jayo Gurudeva 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 Jai Shri Ram Sankirtan ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Okay. So these are Mangalachan prayers and then we'll start. If you know, please follow along or you can hear. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Andeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namam Vishnapadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyashcha Kripatindhuba Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much once again everyone for joining for Sunday feast. You can come forward if you don't mind. Okay. Now it looks so spread out. If at all you desire, not a force. But yeah, thank you so much for taking your time out to come to the program. So this past week, there were a lot of events during the week. A lot of events in the sense, disappearance days, festival, and that is the three events which I really could connect to in the sense, I really like. Those three were the disappearance day of Śrīnivās Ācārya, the disappearance day of His Divine Grace Shri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and the Gopashtami festival. Right? So, we have heard of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, everyone has heard. So there is a personality called as Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. So if you see on the photo on the bottom, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames, photo frames. The third from the left. So the leftmost is our founder Ācārya. You can see the DT there on the back, on the left side. His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. His spiritual master on the right photo, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Or his guru on the right is Shri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. On his right is Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Again on the right, Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Right? And on the extreme right we have the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So the third from the left is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. He is the spiritual master of our Shri Prabhupada. So I was thinking, main devotees usually talk about him, and it was disappearance day on the Ekadashi, Utthana Ekadashi, which was on Friday, right? So it was a disappearance day on that particular day. And there's other disappearance day during the week, not on the particular day, starting of the week on Tuesday, was Śrīnivās Ācārya. And also a wonderful, wonderful festival called Gopashtami. Gopashtami is that festival where Krishna transitioned from, is 5 years old to 6 years old. So from the Pauganda age to, not Pauganda, to Pauganda age, right? So from 5 to 6. So till 5 years old, used to herd only calves. So he couldn't venture into deep forest to graze the cows. But after 5, he started herding the cows. And there's a big festival, Gopashtami. So devotees have speak about Gopashtami. It would speak about Gaurkushata Babaji Maharaj. Right? But of course, there are devotees who have spoken about Śrīnivās Ācārya. So I thought, why don't I try to speak something about Śrīnivās Ācārya? So I don't know if you have anyone heard about him. Anyone has heard the name Śrīnivās Ācārya before? Know who the personality is? Prabhu? No? Anyone knows? If I speak one line of a bhajan, you will know who the person is. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro. Have you heard the bhajan before? Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Beautiful Ashtakam. Written by Śrīnivās Ācārya. So he has written very, very few bhajans, but he has written extremely potent, powerful. So I'm going to try my best, or at least attempt to speak about him. Okay? And Prabhupada said, glorifying the devotee is as, or if not more important than glorifying the Lord himself. Right? There's a beautiful verse, it's quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which actually mentioned by Lord Shiva to Mother Parvati. It says, Āranam Vesham Vishnu Radhaparam Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadiyanam Samarchanam. It says, Aradhanam Sarvesham. Aradhana means, worship, one sense. Sarvesham. Oh, the topmost worship is who? Vishnu Aradhanam Param. The worship of Vishnu is the topmost. Lord Shiva speaking to Mother Parvati. But then he says Tasmat. Tasmat, but. Parataram Devi. Oh Devi, there is Param, Paratara, Parataram. It's like we have good, better, best. Right? Tasmat Parataram, even better than worship of Lord Vishnu is something else. Tadiyanam Sambarchanam is the worship of the devotees. Lord Shiva says. Just like, if someone gives you a gift and someone gives your child a gift, when will you be more happy? That person gave my child a gift. Oh, thank you so much. You will be more happy when a child gets a gift than you receiving the gift, yourself. Similarly, Krishna becomes more happy when his devotees are glorified or worshipped. But the worship of devotees should not be independent of the worship of the Lord. Some people say, Hanumanji, Hanumanji, but that's it. Worship Hanuman. And Ram, okay, Ram is there, but Hanumanji. Ram is servant of Hanuman. If you just worship Hanumanji as he is, Lord, Hanuman will not be pleased, definitely won't be pleased. The worshipping of devotees should not be independent of the worship of the Lord. Right? So, Prabhupada said, worshipping and glorifying. The glorifying his devotees is as good as glorifying the Lord himself. Prabhupada mentioned in multiple purports in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why I'm going to try my little attempt in glorifying one of the most intimate associates of Sri Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in our altar we have two personalities at the very top. You will see on the right we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Sachinandan. We have Yashodanandan, the son of Mother Yashoda. We have Sachinandan, son of Mother Shri. And the left we have Lord Nityananda Mahaprabhu. So this personality which I'm going to try to speak about is a very, very intimate, close associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, I'm going to try something. Now, Śrīnivās Ācārya, his parents were named as Gangadhar Bhattacharya and Lakshmi Priya. Okay, he was born on the bank of the Ganges in Bengal, in the village called Chakandi. The two parents, Gangadhar Bhattacharya and Lakshmi Priya. And they were very, very, ardent devotees of Lord Chaitanya. But they didn't have any child for a long time. Okay. And he had so many pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So he has a contemporary of Lord Chaitanya at the same time, Gangadhar Bhattacharya and Lakshmi Priya. And he spent so much time hearing, and retelling the stories of Lord Chaitanya that he wanted to meet Lord Mahaprabhu, but he could not because family obligations was a bit far. So he could not, take some time out because of family obligations. But, at one point, there's a breaking point. He waited, but no more. At one point he said, that's it. I can't tolerate any separation anymore. he left to Navadvip. Didn't leave the house, he just left. He said, I'm going now to see the Lord. That's it, done. It's too long of a wait. He started to Navadvip. Navadvip is in West Bengal. To see the Lord. Right? So he just reached Katwa. Katwa is a place. You know, what is Katwa famous for? What is the importance of Katwa? Sannyas. That's the place where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas at the age of 24 years old. So he walked from Chakandi to Navadvip, and on the way he just walked down 7 miles and reached Katwa. Now he learned at that point that the Nimai of Nadia, Nimai was his before sannyas name. Nimai, Mahaprabhu's name, Nimai. He is taking sannyas in Katwa. I was like, what? He was shocked. What? Why must my Lord take sannyas? There's no need for the Supreme Lord to take sannyas. So he thought it's for us grahasthas, or the brahmachari, it's for us living entities to renounce, to detach and take sannyas order. We have brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyas, the ashrams. It's for us. Why is the Lord taking sannyas? Sannyas is not a very, so to say, an opulent lifestyle. It is war of renunciation. You can't have anything in your name. We want to have, I want this, I want that, nothing in your name. You can't stay in one place, you have to keep on traveling. There's no base, there's no house, you don't know anything. It's a very harsh life. You can't own anything much. Can you maybe just one danda or kamandalu, that's it, done. Shishinitai Satchandandev Bhagwan ki jai, Lakshmi Narasimhadev Bhagwan ki jai, Shuddha Dambodhar ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. But he was sad to hear that Mahaprabhu sing sannyas, but at the time he was excited. Why? Because finally he's going to meet the Lord. The mixed emotions. Excitement and disappointment or sadness. Not disappointment, sadness, anguish. Mixed emotions. So he went there, and there are many of his close associates at the particular event where Lord Mahaprabhu was singing sannyas. Who were there? The Nityanand Prabhu, Chandrasekhar Ācārya, Mukund Datta. So many people were there. Not many, but many people were there to witness the event of Mahaprabhu taking sannyas. And that would mean what? Shaving his hair off. Mahaprabhu has beautiful locks of curly black hair. Beautiful locks of hair. Right? As a barber, he says Madhushila, name of the barber. He was hesitating to cut the black hair. How beautiful he looks. How can I cut the hair of Mahaprabhu? But because he's a barber, but Gangadhar was saying, no, please stop. He's trying to, there's a lot of other people, please stop, don't do it. Right? But Mahaprabhu had taken a decision that he would take sannyas. But Madhu, that barber, had good fortune because he could touch the Lord. With hairs at least, right? But while he was shaving, he was crying profusely. Right? It's his duty to cut his barber. So he have to do his duty. Right? And he was crying profusely. Because he knew that Mahaprabhu was doing to set an example. There are reasons why the Lord took sannyas, but it's a different topic altogether. But he knew that Mahaprabhu was doing to set an example. Right? So he was crying while shaving the head of Mahaprabhu. Now, who was Mahaprabhu's sannyas guru? Remembers? Mahaprabhu gave first initiation was from, or Harinam initiation, so to say, was from Ishwarapuri. Okay? And who was his sannyas guru? Keshava Bharati. Yes, Keshava Bharati. And Keshava Bharati, Sri Keshava Bharati gave Mahaprabhu's new name. What is the new name? Shri Krishna Chaitanya. We have the beautiful bhajan. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, that's the name of Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, he gave. The crowd was shocked. Nima is really taking sannyas. They could not believe their eyes. In their eyes, what are we seeing? Right, listen, so we missed everything. What is so big deal? If you hear the backstory, the previous prelude to this, we can appreciate a bit more. Why was this so shocking? At the age of 24 years old, very young, beautiful wife, took sannyas, right? And Madhu, right, the barber, he fainted after shaving. He was thinking that it's like, like a puppet being controlled. A puppet doesn't have any independence. The puppeteer moves, puppet will move. So he was thinking like, I could not even control my hand. It's like the Lord himself was doing through my hand and shaving his head. He could not control. He was in so anguished, so much pain to cut the hair of Mahaprabhu. And Gangadhar Bhattacharya, right, was screaming, Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Chaitanya. He wanted to call out loudly. But there's so much noise going on, his sound mixed and then it could not disperse. He could not reach Mahaprabhu's ears, so to say. Right? There's so much clamor, so much noise going on. And finally what happened? He just went back. He went back home, half mad in ecstasy. And all the way, calling what? Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, just half mad in ecstasy. He was walking back. He saw the Lord, very happy but sad because he took sannyas, and is walking back now. Okay? Now, and when he reached his home, and he told his wife about it. Wife was too, just like, if there's an iron rod and you put magnet on it, the iron rod acts like a magnetism. Right? Similarly, because of so much ecstasy, because telling his wife, and wife coming in contact with Gangadhar Bhattacharya, and she took some of ecstasy in the sense she was also Chaitanya, 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 walking around. Townspeople thought they're kind of mad people, just calling Chaitanya in ecstasy, right? And because of that, the town people gave Gangadhar Bhattacharya a new name, started calling a new name, called as Chaitanya Das. He's just calling them Chaitanya, 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 Chaitanya. Chaitanya Das. They started calling his new name. Okay. Now, Chaitanya Das and his wife went to Jagannath Puri because Mahaprabhu, after he took sannyas, he toured almost out of India, especially South India. He toured the entire South India, went to all the West, Pandharpur, many places he went, Banaras he went, many places he went. And finally, he made his base, main place, Jagannath Puri. But Lord Jagannath is, he's present there. So, Gangadhar Bhattacharya and his wife went to Jagannath Puri to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? And when the couple they arrived there, they surrendered at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu said, wow, I'm very happy. Lord Jagannath is very happy to see you. Will be very happy to see you. Please go and take darshan of them first. You please go and then come back. So Mahaprabhu's servant, Govinda, he accompanied the couple. They took darshan of Lord Jagannath and they very fervently offered prayers to Lord Jagannath. And they came back. And Mahaprabhu had arranged wonderful, luxurious accommodations for them. He would himself stay in a very simple house to exhibit or to exemplify the position of a sannyasi. But he would make all the arrangements for his disciple or his followers. So Mahaprabhu made very nice arrangements for Gangadhar Bhattacharya and Lakshmi Priya. And they spent several days with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, talking to Mahaprabhu. One day, then Mahaprabhu, one of the few days, one day Mahaprabhu told his servant, oh Govinda, Chaitanya Das, he knows his new name, so to say, has not mentioned it to me, but I know they would like to have a child. I know they want to have a child because they offered this prayer to Lord Jagannath. But I'm not different from Lord Jagannath. Jai Gaur, say Krishna, say Jagannath. Person is Lord Jagannath, is same as Mahaprabhu, is same as Krishna. It's like you they offered prayer to Lord Jagannath, but Mahaprabhu was same as Jagannath. He said, I know what they want. But they offered prayers to me in one sense. Right? So I know they want to have a child. And their desire to have an offspring will soon appear. And Mahaprabhu already gave the name. his name will be Śrīnivās. His name will be Śrīnivās. And he said, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. Remember the 6 Goswamis I talked about, the 6th frame from the left or the rightmost? The 6 Goswamis. Shri Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Gopala Bhatta and Jiva Goswami. Of the two prominent of the 6 Goswamis, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. The eldest of all the 6 Goswamis is who? Sanatana Goswami. Younger than Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami. Right? So, Shri Rupa and Sanatana will teach him all the Bhakti Shastra. He told. And through Śrīnivās, I will distribute all the books. So we have the 3 musketeers. Right? So there were 3 musketeers in our parampara also. Śrīnivās Ācārya, Narottama Das Thakur, and Shyamanand Pandit. The trio. Right? So he was one of the trio. Śrīnivās Ācārya. So Mahaprabhu said, or prophesied, so to say, that Rupa and Sanatana will teach him Bhakti Shastra, right, through Jiva Goswami, and I will distribute all the books through Śrīnivās Ācārya. He said, I will make it happen. So tell Gangadhar Pandit or Chaitanya Das and his wife to go back to Chakhandi quickly. Tell them to leave. Right. So, as Mahaprabhu predicted, or ordered, not predicted, right, what happened? Their beautiful baby boy named Śrīnivās. Right? And he was born in the 16th century, in the month of April, Vaishak month. And Lakshmipriya, mother's father, is Balram Vipra. He was a learned astrologer. And he took, made his chart, birth chart, and said, this boy is a Mahapurush, divinely empowered soul. And there are few indications of that. Mahaprabhu had that. For example, Mahaprabhu had hands equal Ajanulambita. His hands were so long he could touch his knee in his hands. Long hands. Okay, similarly, Śrīnivās Ācārya had what? Lotus-like eyes, golden luster, broad chest, nose. So then they were very happy. Very nice. We have got a very beautiful child. And they wanted a child who was a devotee, who would become a very ardent devotee of Lord Chaitanya. And the desire was fulfilled. At least, the child was born, right? And the astrologer gave very nice review, so to say, made the chart, right? Now, when he was growing up, Lakshmipriya would do one thing. She would constantly sing the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu into the ears of Śrīnivās Ācārya. Under this glories in the sense about his pastimes and song. Right? So we should do the same. We should make our children Krishna conscious by singing, talking about Krishna when they're child. It's like, a dry sponge. Dry sponge absorbs water like instantly. You put in the water and just soak it up. They are like dry sponge. When they're growing up, they can absorb so many things. The more we expose, they'll keep on absorbing. Right? Similarly, so in that way, Lakshmipriya kept on saying or singing about Radha, Krishna, Sachidandan, Gaur Hari, kept on singing the pastimes. And he grew up and he started reciting those. Right? So this small crescent moon called Śrīnivās grew to full moon, Śrīnivās, the youth. He grew up, right? And there's a book called as Prema Vilāsa by Nityanand Das. He's a disciple of Nityanand Prabhu. So he writes in the book that Mother Saraswati herself said, I will give you all the knowledge of scriptures. I will endow you with all the knowledge of scriptures. But still, he took the shelter of a spiritual master. So, Dhananjay, not spiritual master in the sense, studying the Shastra initially, called Dhananjay Vidya Vachaspati. So, even though we may be very learned, we may have a lot of qualifications, PhD, MA, ME, whatever, right? Or we may think, you know all the Shastra. But still, without the mercy of a guru, we cannot get it. And the Lord himself exemplifies whenever he comes. Mahaprabhu took initiation, took shelter of a guru, Ishwara Puri, when he came, even though he doesn't need to. Krishna learned these 64 arts under who? Sandipani Muni. And from him everything came. Why does he have to go to someone else to learn everything? Doesn't make any sense. Right? So he exemplifies the importance of taking shelter of a guru when it comes. Sri Rupa Goswami, in his magnum opus, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he mentions 64 limbs of devotional service. The first limb, you know what first limb? Adav Guru Padashraya. First, take shelter of a guru. That's the first step. Right? The importance of a guru. So he took shelter of a guru, even though Mother Saraswati endowed him with all knowledge of scriptures. Still. Right? Then, he was very, very, very benevolent, very kind in nature, and he was the prized pupil of Dhananda Vidya Vachatpati. And all the townspeople loved him very much. And he was very, like a precious gem. Yeah, like sometimes people are known by their, or the place are known by the particular person. Oh, this person was this particular place. Yeah. The place becomes famous because of that particular one person. Similarly, he made the entire Shakandi famous by alone himself. Now, there's another personality, Narhari Sarkar. Have you heard Narhari Sarkar? How many of you sing Gaur Aarti at home? Gaur Aarti. Kiba Jayo, Jayo, Go. Sing, right? Have you heard Narhari Sarkar in the bhajan before? He was Narahari Adi Ko. Narhari Sarkar Thakur. Right? Narhari Sarkar. Right? Because of his Śrīnivās popularity, he met Narhari Sarkar, who was very close associate of Lord Chaitanya. And because of his extreme wonderful devotion, Narhari Sarkar was very impressed by Śrīnivās Ācārya. Oh, very nice. Very, very sincere devotion, not fake. Sincere devotion to Lord Chaitanya. Very nice. And Śrīnivās Ācārya, knowing the glories of Narhari Sarkar, he requested, can you please become my instructing guru, Shiksha Guru, first, please. And he accepted. Okay, sure. Right? So, but the first thing he told Śrīnivās Ācārya, go to Puri to see Mahaprabhu. His parents had seen Mahaprabhu, but he himself had not seen yet. You go and go to Puri to see Mahaprabhu. Right? But and while trying to getting ready to execute instruction, what happened? His father passed away after 7 days of fever. And his mother was very, very, of course, dejected. She was very sad. And Śrīnivās did all he could to console his mother. His father passed away. Meanwhile, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was making arrangements. He knew Śrīnivās is going to come to me very soon. So, in advance, he was making preparations for his arrival. Śrīnivās Ācārya's arrival. Mahaprabhu was making all preparations already. And how? He wrote to Sri Rupa and Sanatana Goswami in Vrindavan and Gopala Bhatta Goswami, make sure Śrīnivās will come very soon to you. Make sure you teach him all the Bhakti Shastra. And then he told Gadadhar Pandit. So there are 5 personalities. Before we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we sing a particular mantra. It's called the Panch Tattva Mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar, Śrīnivās, Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Right? So Gadadhar, right? He told Gadadhar Pandit, make sure you teach him Srimad Bhagavatam. So 2 things he told, okay? Sri Rupa and Sanatana Goswami to teach all about spiritual Bhakti Shastra, and specifically Gadadhar Pandit, that you teach him Srimad Bhagavatam. He already made arrangements, okay? He'll come very soon to make sure you do the job. He made all the arrangements, everything set. Now, Narhari Sarkar, remember, his first instructing guru, because his father passed away and his mother moved to her hometown. It's called Jajigram. He told him, you go first Jajigram, take care of your mother. Then there you go to Puri. Said, okay, I will heed your words. He went to Jajigram, his mother was, and then proceeded to Puri. But in the meantime, before going, he also requested Narhari Sarkar, can you give me initiation into Hare Krishna mantra? So Naresh Sarkar told that, no, that's not my job, that's not my duty. It's someone else. Mahaprabhu has already, set for. Who's that? Gopala Bhatta Goswami. Remember one of the 6 Goswamis? Vyaschi, Rupa Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Jiva Goswami and Gopala Bhatta Goswami. So he said, Gopala Bhatta Goswami will be your Diksha Guru. So I will not do that. Mahaprabhu has already said so. So that will happen. Okay. Now, he's still a boy, right? He's not young, not youth yet. Still a boy. He started off to Puri. And while going to Puri, he learned that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had left the world. He has completed, wrapped his pastimes and went back. And I said, oh. And before that, Nityananda Prabhu, and after that, Nityananda Prabhu also passed away. Basically, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu both left the world, went back to spiritual world. And of course, what is the reason you're going to Puri? To meet Mahaprabhu, right? So now he can't meet Mahaprabhu. There are no more there, at least in the manifest. What to do? So Mahaprabhu came to his dream and said, don't worry, we continue on the journey. We'll take, you go to Gadadhar Pandit. We'll take care of things, don't worry about it. So, Śrīnivās was very, very, very sad. First of all, he was very dejected because he could not meet Mahaprabhu. But then he heeded the words of Mahaprabhu and said, okay, let me go and meet Gadadhar Pandit. And remember Gadadhar Pandit? You know, which temple? Very famous temple. Gadadhar Pandit was a Kshetra sannyasi. He took a vow, I will not leave this particular temple compound. Which temple was that? You know? The Krishna sits. Tota Gopinath temple, where Krishna actually sits. So Gadadhar Pandit used to worship Tota Gopinath ji, and because he was so old, he could not do proper worship, standing. Deity sat. So you sit. Right? So Gadadhar Pandit, Śrīnivās Ācārya finally went to Gadadhar Pandit and obeisances. Paid obeisances to Gadadhar Pandit and said, finally, at least I was able to meet you at least. Finally, good fortune. And Gadadhar Pandit was very happy to see him. Oh, you have come. And you introduce yourself. I'm Śrīnivās Ācārya. I'm Śrīnivās. And I've come here because Mahaprabhu came to dream and told to please come and meet you. Okay, thank you very much for coming. I'm very happy you came. And he remembered Mahaprabhu told to teach Śrīmad Bhagavatam to Śrīnivās Ācārya. Right? So now he told that I cannot teach you Bhagavatam this time. Said, why? Why cannot teach Bhagavatam? Because Gadadhar Pandit was feeling so much separation from Mahaprabhu that he kept on crying. Where is Mahaprabhu? Where is Mahaprabhu? Why did Mahaprabhu go? Crying separation, right? And because the tears start falling, right? When you cry, of course, tears will come out. And he used to read Śrīmad Bhagavatam every day. And the tears will fall on the manuscripts and smudge all the ink. So there's no legible script to read Śrīmad Bhagavatam. So he said, I cannot teach you Śrīmad Bhagavatam because I can't read. No, you can read, no, I can't. Neither can you, nor can I read this Śrīmad Bhagavatam. So I cannot teach at this point of time. You need to get a new copy. At that time, there's no printing press. Can you print out, print the books quickly? No. It had to be handwritten. Imagine 18,000 verses. Not a mistake. You cannot make mistakes while writing. And not no, nothing like that. That's how they used to make copy. Right? And devotees, sometimes at least I'm part of, I'm also a culprit. We take for granted Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Hey, book is there. Yeah, his book is there, so what? Available everywhere, be available everywhere, so what? It's a big deal. We take for granted. By saying like that, we actually spit on the contributions of these previous acharyas who painstakingly wrote on palm leaves. Everything's there. Put vedabase.io, Srimad Bhagavatam, everything is there. We take it for granted. When we know the value of something, when we lose it. When everything comes so easy, just click, instant messenger, Instacart, instant. One type on the website, Chrome browser, so simple. Right? We take for granted. That's not for the. He was extremely, anxious. He was so eager to learn Srimad Bhagavatam, but he could not find the manuscript. So, Gadadhar Pandit told Narari Sarkar, please arrange for Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So that I can teach Śrīnivās. So Narari Sarkar wrote back saying that, oh yeah, we have a copy. Someone already wrote and we have kept the copy. So come quickly and take it. So Gadadhar Pandit sent Śrīnivās himself, you yourself go, don't wait for another person, third party, you yourself go and bring it. Because I don't know how long will I be alive in separation from Mahaprabhu. Guarantee nahi hai. Quicker you bring, quicker we can learn. You go. Okay. So, Śrīnivās started to leave to get the Srimad Bhagavatam. But now, Śrīnivās, all the time he had a long cherished dream. What was the dream? To see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates. Some of them are still present. I will list few names, okay? He went to the house of Ramananda Rai. Wonderful, exalted personality. When Mahaprabhu was touring South India, he met Ramananda Rai on the banks of Godavari. And if you see chapter Madhya Leela, the first time he meets in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter number 8. That's the first meeting of Ramananda Rai and Mahaprabhu. A wonderful, beautiful, deep discussion. I'll just mention the name. If you want, you can go ahead and read the particular section. Then he met Shiki Mahiti. So Shiki Mahiti is who? Ramananda Rai is who? None other than Vishakha Sakhi. In Srimad Radharani's close associate. Lalita and Vishakha. Right? The Vishakha Sakhi Ramananda Rai. Shiki Mahiti is who? Assistant of Srimad Radharani, called Ragalekha. Basically, they are very close associates of Mahaprabhu. Then he met Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the great scholar Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He is still famous. He used to teach the Nyaya philosophy, Vedanta Sutra. Then he met Vakreshwara Pandit, the dancer, Paramananda Puri. So many wonderful, so big personalities. Okay. Then Gopinath Ācārya, and so many of them are still present. He wanted to meet them. I can't meet Mahaprabhu, at least I can meet associates of Mahaprabhu. Let me go. Instead of going directly to get the Bhagavatam, he took a detour. Started stopping at all different places, associates, and then I will go. You can't know, is it? If I go now, maybe I will not be able to see them again. So let me take a shot at it. Let's go. Okay. He went. Right? Then when he met all these personalities, they could understand how he's empowered, how he is so much love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They could understand how Śrīnivās Ācārya has, just by seeing you, the effulgence, we can understand you are the personification of Mahaprabhu's love itself. So much you exuding love for Mahaprabhu. Sometimes when you just look at a person, you can feel the aura, the glow. They're seeing them, you can understand. He used to, not command, not demand, but command. Aura, the effulgence of his face, right? So, they understood that, Mahaprabhu broke, this is a very nice statement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu broke this storehouse love of Godhead. For example, visualize the spiritual world, there's a locked storehouse. Most precious things locked in the storehouse. But Mahaprabhu went in, broke the lock, and took all the treasures of the storehouse and distributed freely. Right? So they could understand that this person will be the conduit through which all the treasures will be distributed. Golokera Prema Dhana Hari Nama Sankirtan. And one of the most prized jewel in the treasure house is what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Golokera Prema Dhana Hari Nama Sankirtan. Okay. So now, when Śrīnivās arrived, finally he saw everyone very happy and said, okay, let me go now to get the copy of Srimad Bhagavatam. He arrived in Bengal and received a copy from Narendra Sarkar. He took the book and he learned that Gadadhar Pandit had passed away. He told, quicker you get, quicker I can teach. Because he took a detour, he got the Bhagavatam, but then Gadadhar Pandit had already passed away. So first you want to be Mahaprabhu, left the world. Nityananda Prabhu left the world. Right? Now Gadadhar Pandit, go take Bhagavatam, got the Bhagavatam, but now he passed away. Now he's like, why is this happening? He couldn't make heads or teeth out of it. He couldn't understand what is going on. Right? Then Nityananda Prabhu, remember the left, we have left person, two personalities. On the left, Nityananda Prabhu's wife, Janava Devi, she went to Vrindavan and Shri Rupa Goswami told her, please send Śrīnivās to Vrindavan as soon as possible. Please tell him to come as soon as possible. Tell him to come. I said, okay, sure, I will do that. She went and told Śrīnivās, they've been called to Vrindavan. Rupa Sanatana Goswami. Go. Right? And Narendra Sarkar also told, go to Vrindavan quickly, go. Do not make haste. Quickly go. So now it's very nice, finally I can tell Miss Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. So excited to learn the scriptures. But then what happened? He went, started going to Vrindavan. But on the way, if you see trace from the map, from Bengal if you go, you will meet many places before you hit Vrindavan. Banaras, so many places you meet. While going from there, remember I told he has long cherished desire of seeing associates of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu's associates is not just in Bengal, many places. He said, let me go here and see them. Again took a detour to see all the devotees. Took a detour and finally, what happened? He just entered Vrindavan and he learned what? Rupa Goswami left the world. It's like, just like, take knife and just pierce one, first Mahaprabhu, then Nityananda Prabhu, then Gadadhar Pandit, then Rupa Goswami. He walked 3 days to reach Vrindavan. Who left? Sanatana Goswami left. One more knife in the heart. All the big personalities, they all just keep leaving. Why it is happening? Right? So some devotees, realization, they say that is because Mahaprabhu wanted him to take initiation from Gopala Bhatta Goswami. He is trying to reduce the pool, in the sense, right? To make that happen. Okay. And then, all this personality left, and he was so dejected. Just imagine, you meet Rupa Goswami and then just about in the reach of your hands and just lost. You start sitting under the tree and wishing, I just wish death comes upon me. That's it. This too much anguish, too much pain. I can't tolerate it. Okay? But then Shri Rupa Goswami came, and Sanatana Goswami came to dream and saying that don't worry, everything is planned. Go to Jiva Goswami and take shelter of Gopala Bhatta Goswami. Jiva Goswami will teach you, and Gopala Bhatta Goswami will give you initiation. And serve them with your life and soul. That's it. Just serve them. Okay, but finally, some positive light at the end of the tunnel. He got up and started going towards the three main prominent temples. At the 7 temples, but the 3 main temples. First is Radha Madan Mohan temple of Srila Sanatana Goswami. Radha Govinda Dev temple. If it's in Jaipur, Radha Govinda temple, Rupa Goswami. Right? And there is Radha Gopinath by Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, if I'm not wrong. Right? So now, he was sitting, Śrīnivās Ācārya was sitting in front of the deity, Govindadev deity in temple. I'm waiting, just praying. And who came from behind with his followers? The most prolific Ācārya, Jiva Goswami, entered the temple with his followers. And Śrīnivās introduced himself. And Jiva Goswami, very warm, greeted him with warmth and loving hospitality. It's very affectionate. And then went to Radha. So Jiva Goswami had his own temple, Radha Damodar temple. He took him, you come with me, and gave him accommodation to stay, everything. Now Jiva Goswami introduced Śrīnivās to whom? Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Right? And so Gopal Bhatta, do you know Radha Raman temple? Anybody remembers? Vrindavan? Radha Raman temple? Radha Raman temple, the deity, Shri Radha Raman, is none other than the deity of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He is the most charming, the most beautiful deity you will ever see. You usually won't find teeth for deities. They usually have smile, but like this. If you look closely, you can see teeth for Radha Ramanji. Absolutely beautiful deity, Radha Ramanji. So that's Gopal Bhatta Goswami's deity. Now finally, they introduced Śrīnivās Ācārya, Śrīnivās, to all the Brajvasis. Everyone now acquainted with, okay, now Shiva's here. Good. Okay. So now, there's much more to say. So mostly when I get chance next time to speak, I'll continue from here. But so now, Śrīnivās Ācārya was there, right? Now, the three people convene. Śrīnivās, Narottama Das Thakur, Narottam, and third one is Dukhi Krishna Das. So remember Shyamanand Pandit I talked about? He will come later. Before that, his name is Dukhi Krishna Das. Right? So these three people would be studying under the tutelage of Srila Jiva Goswami. They were his most prized pupils, students. He was extremely fond of them. And they're extremely affectionate, sincere, dedicated to Mahaprabhu's movement and serving Srila Jiva Goswami. Right? So from here we'll start next time. Hopefully you get a chance to speak and hopefully you get a chance to come and just repeat this beautiful person. Now we'll talk about the glories of Śrīnivās Ācārya. What all he did, how did he distribute books, what did he face while distributing books. Right? So we should be ever grateful to Śrīnivās Ācārya, Narottama Das Thakur and Shyamanand Pandit. Remember, right? We have book distribution going on. They were the first book distributors, the Gaudiya Sampradaya. We should be ever grateful that we get a chance to read these books because of them. Okay, now we'll attend the Aarti of Shri Śrīnivās Satchidanand, whom Śrīnivās Ācārya was ardent devotee of. Right? So, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nai Anya. They're not different than Krishna and Balram. Please, with all your heart, chant the Maha Mantra and dance, if possible. Thank you so much. Śrīnivās Ācārya ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Namo Vishnu